Call to the public. Call.
Hi everybody, welcome to another fun-filled episode of What's Cool and What's Not Cool, Sports Edition. I'm your host, Cullen, aka Big C-Man. In the old days, a lot of shows in Canada have been pretty popular. Game Show Network originally aired Kenny vs. Spenny 6 years ago, and then we had to wait 3 years later for new episodes when Comedy Central gave Kenny vs. Spenny the green light by the producers of South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Alright, today's episode is about Kenny vs. Spenny competitions. The rule is I'm going to discuss mostly about the cult reality show Kenny vs. Spenny. Won't talk too much about it, but it's going to be fun. Anyway, here we go. It's time for Kenny vs. Spenny competitions. First one, who can stay blindfolded the longest? That's a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. Oh man. When I saw this episode, since it originally aired in Canada, Kenny and Spenny actually wore blindfolds. Kenny tortured Spenny so badly, I was like literally laughing. Kenny is totally the villain in this episode. Like, when Spenny took the blindfold off, Kenny actually cheated and won the competition. Who could drink more beer? That's a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. When Kenny and Spenny were actually drinking beer, Spenny was the person that drank actual beer. Kenny drank like non-alcoholic beer, which is gross. Kenny actually cheated by drinking non-alcoholic beer. You have to drink beer if you're doing parties. It felt like this was a college game or something like that. The boner episode. First guy to get a boner loses. Is a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. When I saw this episode, Spenny got angry on the whole episode. Like, he was so pissed off. Spencer's hot cousin was on this episode, giving Kenny a lap dance. You should see more of Spencer's hot cousin in more of the episodes, but to tell you the truth, Spenny had to lose. He was so mean to Kenny in the whole episode, he had to get humiliated. Who can eat more meat? That's a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. After Who Can Blow the Biggest Fart aired on Comedy Central, the series premiere was, oh, let's see who could eat more meat. The competition was so disgusting, it was funny. Spenny actually beat Kenny in the competition. Kenny's Dr. Goldfield didn't help him that much. I thought Kenny's humiliation was hilarious. Who could wear a gorilla suit the longest? That's a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. Oh my god. When I saw this episode, when it aired in Canada, Kenny and Spenny were actually wearing gorilla suits. And it was hot as hell. Like, maybe in a future episode they should do who could wear Mega Man costumes the longest. And Kenny's cameraman will play Dr. Wily. Spenny got pissed off when Kenny set Spencer's mask on fire, saying, I should have won, Kenny! Who will use their arms first is not a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. I remember watching that episode and Kenny actually cheated in that episode. Like, using a little person as arms. How did Kenny win the competition? Oh, I got an idea. Let's drop Spenny's expensive guitar. To tell you the truth, Spencer Rice looks like a ripoff of Dimitri Martin. Who could stay naked the longest? It's not a cool Kenny vs. Spenny competition. Kenny and Spenny were arguing about who could become naked. Dave England doing the nude suit was actually better than who could stay naked the longest. That was a jackass stunt. Like, Comedy Central did not air this. Comedy Central said, sorry. When Spenny got his ass whipped by a bunch of gay people, he was furious at Kenny and the whole crew. First guy to stop singing loses. That's not a cool Kenny vs. Spenny bit. When I first saw this episode, I thought it was going to be pretty amazing. And then Kenny and Spenny are actually singing the stupidest songs I ever heard in my life. Like, I feel like I'm watching a Simpsons episode than a fucking reality show. Like, I just thought, like, when Spenny saw Kenny being all heavy metal, like, him lip-syncing in a synagogue is the worst. Who can piss off more people? Nope, it's not a cool Kenny versus Spenny competition. I saw the piss off people, and Kenny and Spenny basically pissed off each other and other people. Spenny was driving the ice cream truck, and what was the stupidest shit ever was these people gave him like half of ice cream cone. It's like, if I did shit like this, I would get my ass whooped. It's just like, you know what, Spencer? Fuck off. Who could keep their head in a chicken coop the longest? It's not a cool Kenny versus Spenny competition. When I saw this episode, I was like, ugh! Chicken coops fucking stink. Hey Kenny, either follow the rules or forfeit the goddamn competition. Because mostly, if I was in a chicken coop, they smell like shit. It does suck ass to be in a fucking chicken coop. I like when Kenny tortured the crap out of Spenny because he did not cheat, he won fair and square. So what have we learned about this episode? Kenny versus Spenny competitions I like are cool. Other Kenny versus Spenny competitions I don't like are not cool. I like to thank Look at Me 123. I like to thank the Angry Video Game Nerd, ChangeTheChannel.com, the Nostalgia Critic, brokers, and all these people that kicked ass, basically. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Thanks for watching another episode of What's Cool and What's Not Cool. Good night.